In this BDRSuite demo, I'll guide you through configuring backups for your Azure VMs and restoring your data when needed. BDRSuite offers agentless backups for Azure virtual machines with customizable backup policies and flexible restore options, allowing backups to be stored locally or on your preferred cloud storage. To get started, visit the BDRSuite website and click Start Free Trial. Download and install BDRSuite on Windows or Linux machines, or run it as a Docker container. For a step-by-step video on installing the BDRSuite backup server, check the link in the description box. Be sure to fill out the form provided for technical assistance. Once the installation is complete, open the backup server's web-based console in your browser, enter your username and password, and click Sign In. You can now experience BDRSuite's full-featured 30-day free trial in your environment. Now let's add the Azure account as data source for backup. Navigate to the Cloud Workloads tab, Data Sources menu, and click Azure Account. Click to add New Azure Account. To add your Azure account, you will need your tenant ID, application ID, and application password. Additionally, you need to create a role for the subscriptions you plan to use for backup and recovery, and add a role assignment. You can generate these details by following the prerequisites on the right pane. For a detailed video on how to enable these prerequisites, check the description. Once you've completed the prerequisites, you will have the required details. Enter your Azure account information such as name, tenant ID, application ID, and application password, and click Save. Your Azure account is now successfully listed on BDRSuite as a data source for backup. Navigate to Backup, configure Backup, and choose Azure. This is the basic job details page. Before we proceed with the configuration, it's important to know that Azure Backup offers two setup options. The first option is Azure Snapshot Backup, which enables you to create automated snapshots that are stored only within your Azure account. The second option is Azure Snapshot Backup, with a backup copy to another location. This option creates a snapshot in Azure and copies your data to your chosen storage, whether that's local, remote, or in the cloud. First, let's explore the configuration steps for Azure Snapshot Backup. On the basic job details page, enter all the required information and ensure that you select only Azure Snapshot Backup as the backup option. Once done, click Next to proceed. Select the Azure account, subscription, and resource group, then click the List VMs button to list all the virtual machines. You can select the VMs you want to backup. For the selected VMs, you can enable application-aware processing to ensure transaction-consistent backups of your Microsoft applications. Additionally, you can enable pre-post scripts to run before and after the backup job. BDRSuite offers flexible backup scheduling options. Select the backup frequency for incremental backups. For this demo, I've configured daily backups at 9 p.m. Only the initial backup is full. After that, it's forever incremental backups. I've also chosen the default values for the advanced backup settings. Once done, click on Next to proceed. Select the number of snapshots to retain. BDRSuite for Azure captures snapshots at scheduled times and stores them in the same Azure account. Each snapshot is a restore point, with up to 1,000 snapshots per VM. Setting a retention limit of 5 snapshots will delete the oldest snapshot when a new backup is taken, keeping only the 5 most recent. Once done, click Next to proceed. Finally, review your backup job configuration. If you want to run the backup job immediately after configuration, you can check the box and click Save. Click Save on the confirmation dialog, then you will be redirected to the List of Jobs page. Here, click on the In Progress icon and view the status of the backup progress. Once the backup is completed, you can edit, check status, view reports, and manage your backup jobs from here. Click the Report icon to view the backup report. All right, now let's take a look at the second type of configuration, which is Azure Snapshot Backup with a backup copy to another location. Navigate to Backup, configure Backup, and choose Azure. In this video, I'll show you the other option, the Azure Snapshot with a backup copy to another location. This option creates the snapshot in your Azure account and also copies your VM data to your preferred storage, such as local, remote storage, or your own public cloud. Next, choose the backup repository to store this copy. Once the basic details are entered, click Next to proceed. Select the Azure account, subscription, and resource group. Then click the List VMs button to list all the virtual machines. You can select the VMs you want to backup. For the selected VMs, you can enable application-aware processing to ensure transaction-consistent backups of your Microsoft applications. Additionally, you can enable pre-post scripts to run scripts before and after the backup job. BDRSuite offers flexible backup scheduling options. Select the backup frequency for incremental backups. For this demo, I've configured daily backups at 9 p.m. Only the initial backup is full. After that, it's forever incremental backups. I've also chosen the default values for the advanced backup settings. Once done, click on Next to proceed. Now, select how many snapshots you'd like to retain in your Azure account. For example, setting a retention limit of 5 will delete the oldest snapshot when a new one is taken, keeping only the latest 5. Next, you can set the retention for the VM backup data stored in local or cloud storage. If you disable retention, all restore points will be kept indefinitely. You can also enable retention and customize the policies such as the number of days or versions you want to retain, as per your storage and compliance requirements. Once done, click Next to proceed. Finally, review your backup job configuration. If you want to run the backup job immediately after configuration, you can check the box and click Save. Click Schedule Now. On the confirmation dialog, you will be redirected to List of Jobs page. Click on the Progress icon to view the backup progress. Once the backup is completed, you can edit, check status, view reports, and manage your backup jobs from here. Click the Report icon to view the backup reports. Now let's explore the different Azure recovery options. First, at the backup job level, where all Azure jobs are listed. Here, you can select the job containing the backed up VM from the Recovery menu under Restore Backup Data. Alternatively, you can restore VMs at the account level. This option lists all VMs backed up under a specific Azure account, accessible from the Recovery, VM Recovery, Azure VM menu. In this video, I will restore VM from its backup job. Navigate to the Recovery menu and click on Restore Backup Data. Click the Restore button next to the backup job. Select the Azure VM you want to restore and choose the restore type. If your backup is configured using the Azure Snapshot method, only the 2 highlighted restore options will be available. If you configured your backup using the second method, Azure Snapshot Backup, with a copy to another location, then all restore options will be available. Let's look at these various restore options one by one. The first type of restore we'll discuss is the VM Recovery using an Azure Snapshot. This option restores your entire virtual machine to a previous state within the same region. You have the flexibility to restore it, either to the same or different subscription and resource group. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. Next, choose the restore options such as subscription. You'll see all the subscriptions linked to your Azure account. Once you've selected a subscription, the available resource groups will be listed for you to choose from. Please note that the backed up VMs can only be restored to the same region. For the virtual network, you have 2 choices: use an existing VNet or create a new one. In this video, I've selected the existing VNet option. You'll need to pick from the available virtual networks and choose the corresponding subnets. If you decide to create a new VNet, BDRSuite will automatically create and assign it. Give your restored VM a name that suits your needs and select your preferred power-on option. Next, choose the volumes you want to attach from the backed-up VM. You can modify the capacity and storage type if required. Please note that all disks will be restored as managed disks. Review all the recovery configurations and then click Restore. Click OK Proceed to start the restore process. You'll be redirected to the Restore Backup Data page, where you can see the restore progress. Once the recovery is completed, you can find the restored VM in your Azure account, under the selected subscription and resource group. Now, click on the Report icon to view the Recovery Report page, and click on the Log icon to view the restore logs. The second restore option is Disk Recovery using an Azure Snapshot. With this method, you can recover specific Azure VM volumes by utilizing backup snapshots stored in your Azure account. Select the Azure VM you want to restore. Choose Disk Recovery from an Azure Snapshot. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. Next, choose the restore options, such as Subscription. You'll see all the subscriptions linked to your Azure account. Once you've selected a subscription, the available resource groups will be listed for you to choose from. Please note that the backed up VMs can only be restored to the same region. Next, choose the disks or volumes you want to restore. You can modify the capacity and storage type if required. Please note that all disks will be restored as managed disks. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click on OK Proceed to initiate the restore. You'll be redirected to the Restore Backup Data page, where you can view the restore progress. Once the restoration is completed, you can find the restored disk in the Azure account under the selected subscription and resource group. Now, click on the Report icon to view the recovery report, and click on the Log icon to view the restore logs. The next Azure recovery option is Disk Mount. This mounts the backed up VM's disk to the BDRSuite Backup Server's disk management service using the BDRSuite virtual drive. This allows you to access backed up disks and volumes instantly without restoring the entire backup. Select the Azure VM. Select the Disk Mount option. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. First, select the disk you want to mount in BDRSuite Virtual Drive. Once it's mounted, you can use the Windows Disk Management Service to easily browse through the disk and access your files. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click OK Proceed to start the restore process. You'll be redirected to the Restore Backup Data page. Click on the Progress icon to view the status of the restore process. Once the recovery is complete, the Vembu virtual drive will be mounted on the machine where the BDRSuite backup server is installed, allowing you to access your backed up data instantly. Navigate to Recovery, manage BDRSuite Virtual Drive. You can enable NFS sharing to access the virtual drive remotely. To unmount the virtual drive, click the Unmount button. Now, navigate to Reports, Data Recovery, and click on Disk Mount. To view the restoration report, another Azure recovery option is Download Disks. Select the Azure VM. You can download backup disks in various formats like VHD, VHDX, VMDK, Flat VMDK, and RAW. This flexibility allows seamless restoration of Azure to different environments. Example: you can download disk in Flat VMDK and migrate the Azure VM as an on-premise VMware as well. Choose the restore point from which you wish to recover the data and click Next to proceed. Next, choose the host you wish to restore and select the target location by clicking on the folder icon. Choose the target location to download your backed up VM or disk data. You can select either a local drive or any network shared drive mapped to the BDRSuite backup server. Choose one of the virtual file formats to download your backup. In this video, I've chosen to download the virtual disk in the VHD format. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Click on OK Proceed to initiate the restore. Click on the Progress icon to view the status of the restore process. Navigate to Reports, Data Recovery, Download Disk to check the restore report, and navigate to the designated location to find the downloaded disk. The next type of Azure Restore is Azure VM Recovery from the backup repository. This option enables you to recover an entire Azure VM using the backup data stored in the BDRSuite backup repository. To perform the VM recovery from backup repository, ensure the following prerequisites are met. Create the BDR proxy using the same subscription for the restore operation. Make sure Windows Management Framework 5.1 and .NET Framework 4.7.2 or above are installed on the BDRSuite backup server machine. Lastly, confirm that the BDRSuite server has internet connectivity. First, let's configure the BDR Restore proxy. This proxy is crucial for restoring and booting your Azure VMs from the BDRSuite backup server repository. To get started, navigate to the Hypervisors, Servers, and Endpoints tab. Then, select Data Sources and click on BDR Proxy. From there, choose Restore Proxy to proceed. Click on Create BDR Proxy button. Now, select the Azure account whose subscriptions and resources you want to use to create the BDR Proxy VM. Select an Azure account from the list if you've already added it. If you haven't added one yet, click on Add Azure Account to create a new one. To begin, log in to the Azure portal and create an application for BDRSuite. After that, assign the owner role to the application. Next, retrieve key details like the tenant ID, application ID, and application password. Once you have these, save your Azure account. You can manage your Azure account credentials in the Credential Management section under the Backup Server tile. For a step-by-step guide on generating these details, check out the detailed video linked in the description box. Once you've added the details and saved your Azure account, it will be listed for you. Simply select the Azure account and click Next to continue. Now, let's configure the virtual machine settings for your BDR proxy. Begin by selecting the correct account details, including the same subscription, location, and resource group. Provide a name for the BDR Proxy VM. Next, choose your storage options by selecting the appropriate storage account and VM size. Then, set up the network settings by selecting the virtual network and subnet. After entering all the required details, click Review to proceed. Finally, review the BDR Proxy VM configuration. Once done, click the Create BDR Proxy button to initiate the process. Click Yes. Proceed on the confirmation dialog. The BDR Proxy VM creation process will begin, and once it's complete, it will be successfully listed in BDRSuite. After configuring the BDR proxy, next, navigate to the Recovery menu and select Restore Backup Data. Click on the Restore option next to the backup job you wish to recover from. Select the Azure VM you wish to backup and choose the restore type as VM Recovery from the backup repository. Select the restore point from which you wish to recover the backup data, then click Next to proceed. Next, give the target VM a name and provide the necessary details for the target VM account settings. To do this, click on the Settings icon. Provide details such as your Azure account, subscription, and the desired location. Next, select the BDR proxy we created for the Proxy VM and choose the appropriate resource group. Make sure that the BDR Restore proxy has already been created before moving forward. Select the target VM configuration by clicking on the Settings icon. Now, let's configure the storage and network settings. Please enter the target VM size, storage account, storage type, and disk type. Then, provide the details for the virtual network, subnet, public IP, and network security group. Once all the details are entered, click on Review and Restore to proceed. Review all the recovery configurations carefully, and then click on Restore to start the recovery process. You will be now redirected to the recovery page. Now click on In Progress icon to view the restore progress. Once the recovery is completed, you can find the restored VM in your Azure account under the selected subscription and resource group. Finally, review the recovery configuration and click Restore. Next, click on the Restore option next to the backup job you wish to recover from to view the restore report. The next type of Azure Restore is File-Level Recovery. This feature allows you to recover specific files or folders from your Windows host with granular precision. Select the Azure VM you want to restore. Select the File-Level Recovery option. Select the restore point you want to recover the backup data from, then click Next to proceed. Let's expand the tree to select the specific files or folders you wish to restore. You have the option to restore these items to the backup server. Once done, click on the folder icon to expand the tree structure and select the restore location. Choose your preferred settings for compression and encryption and click Next. Click on OK, proceed to initiate the restore. Now you'll be redirected to the Restore Backup Data page. Click on the Progress icon to view the status of the restore process. Navigate to Report Data Recovery, File-Level Recovery to check the restore report, and navigate to the designated location to find the restored files and folders. Now, it's your time to try it out. Visit our website to start your 30-day free trial. And if you need any assistance, contact BDRSuite support. Thanks for watching.